I teach computer science here at KCC, and I'm Lisa Miller, by the way. And so a lot of students that even start out taking my class, there is really a lot of confusion about what is computer science. And so because there is, you know, you were talking about computer engineering, there's electrical engineering, there's IT, there's computer science, there's information and computer science, and all of these different names. And so usually on the first day of class, or whenever I talk to anybody about joining our program, the first thing I have to do is explain what computer science is. And so a lot of that is explaining what computer science is not. And so this is a quote that I like to give students, is that computer science is no more about computers than astronomy is about telescopes. Is the computer, the actual machine, from a computer science point of view, is our tool. We in computer science do not get into a whole lot of the nuts and bolts about how the computer works. We don't work with circuits or, you know, microchips or anything like that in any great amount. We learn somewhat about the computers, how they work, just to know how to program them, but we don't really know the nuts and bolts of, we don't really learn the nuts and bolts of the computer machine. So yes, computer science goes by various names. Computer science, of course. Computer engineering is sometimes the same depending on what school you go to. Usually computer engineering leans a little bit towards the machine level type of work. But then if you go to a UC school in California, they have electrical engineering and computer science all combined together, and that's one degree, is EECS. And in the UH system, information and computer science is the blanket term for most computer science classes. And then here at KCC, for various reasons, the degree is called Information and Communication Technologies. So ICT is the computer science transfer degree at KCC. And so, but still, what is computer science? So computer science, there's lots of argument over what computer science is. Is it actually a science, or is it engineering? And what do computer scientists do? If you get a degree in computer science, what are you going to do? And so the ACM, which this here on the slide, this link here is, the ACM is the large professional organization for computer science in worldwide. It's the largest one, and a bunch of research is published through them, and they have conferences and professional development and all sorts of stuff. So you can, I suggest going to that link and looking at their computing careers resources. They've got tons. They also have job listings that you can look at directly. So, but what they say about computer science is, if you have a computer science degree, the work that you would do falls into roughly 3 categories. The first one, the biggie, is designing and building software. A lot of computer scientists, that's what they do. The other ones are more like research oriented, developing effective ways of solving computing problems. So there's a lot of things to do with computing and computer science that are actually hard to get the computer to do. So efficiency and speed are always issues. And so developing more effective ways of doing things, such as storing information in databases and retrieving it, or sending data over networks like streaming, and providing new security approaches, are biggies right now. Security is huge, and cryptography and things like that. And those are basically unsolved problems in computer science. There's lots of work out there in those topics. The third one here on the slide is the very much more research oriented, is devising new and better ways of using computers and addressing particular challenges. So some things, that computers can, devising new and better ways is, can we use a computer to, say, water my lawn? Or can we use a computer to, predict the weather? And those kinds of things that are more theoretical, and how well can the computer do it, and making new ideas about what you could do with a computer. That's kind of the third branch of computer science. And so self-driving cars is a huge thing right now. These are completely unsolved problems in computer science that have lots of potential for growth. Machine learning, AI, those kinds of things are, in my opinion, still in their infancy. Tesla may say that they're going to have a fully self-driving car, but I've not seen it happen yet. So where are the jobs? So computer science, a lot of computer science majors go into the field because of the jobs. And definitely, I just pulled this down today. This is from research.com about computer science careers. And so I've added the stuff in red to this table. Is you can see that some job growth, especially in low-level computer programming. So associates and less degree computer programming jobs are actually showing negative job growth. But we have some huge amounts of job growth in information security analysis and software developers. So I don't know how much this is just about the name, as you no longer want to say you're called a computer programmer, you want to say you're a software developer. So the growth is all in software development rather than computer programming. But usually a software developer would be somebody that has a bachelor's degree in computer science or more, rather than someone that has started with an associate's degree or no degree at all at a software development company and gone up through the ranks that way. So that, I think, is kind of the difference between a computer programming job versus a software development job. Is a software development job almost always requires a bachelor's degree at least. So you can see that this is projected growth through 2029. And so this is very up to date. And so software development jobs, 22% growth. The median pay for a software developer in 2019 is $110,000 a year, which is more than I make here at KCC teaching this class stuff. So also information security analysts. So this is, information security, computer security, cryptography, encryption, all of those kinds of things. Those are a huge growth area that is bachelor's degree and above also. And then computer and information research scientist is master's degree and higher. So this is advanced degrees, and their projected growth is also pretty high. This is above average for nationally for most careers. So these, the associate's degree is, in my opinion, not really the place that you would stop if you were interested in going to into computer science. Generally, you want to continue on and finish a bachelor's degree, or if not a master's degree for this career. So yes, and this is linked here on the slides if you want to go look at this more. They have lots of stuff over there on research.com about different jobs. So this is the KCC transfer degree. So again, it has this weird name that is Information and Communications Technology, so ICT, and it's the Associate in Science, Natural Science, with a concentration in Information and Communication Technologies. This degree transfers directly to a bachelor's degree at UH Manoa. It basically covers the first 2 years of a UH Manoa bachelor's in computer science degree. It's the class names are the same, the class numbers are the same, and the class content is basically the same. And so this is a flow chart that we made recently that shows the progression of the classes through the program. And so those classes in kind of blue-green are the computer science classes that I teach at KCC, the ICS courses. There's ICS 111, 211, and 212, which are programming classes, and then ICS 141 and 241, which are discrete math classes. And then there's also math requirements and physics and chemistry requirements that are part of the ASNS degree that are not computer science specific. So these are also required for a 4-year degree at Manoa, a Bachelor of Science degree. And so those ones in orange are required for our ASNS degree, and then the 2 in purple are not required at KCC, but they are required for the bachelor's degree at Manoa, and you can take them at KCC for cheaper. So we recommend that you take those if you can. So this is the progression of the ICS courses and shows kind of how they continue on into UH Manoa. So there's always these, in a computer science program, this is almost always the case, is there's the programming side and then the more theoretical mathematical side of the degree. And they kind of go together, but the classes are somewhat separate. And so that's the way it happens here at UH system too. So these purple ones again are the programming courses. ICS 111 and 211 are the first 2 semesters of programming where you learn Java. ICS 212 is the 3rd semester of programming where you learn C and C++. Then ICS 141 and 241 are also at KCC. These are the discrete math classes. So these are not programming classes. You do math on paper or, you know, on your tablet or whatever, but they're not programming classes. And those then proceed directly to ICS 311 at UH Manoa, which is the algorithms class. So that usually is the class, the first class that students take after they transfer to UH Manoa from this program is ICS 311, which is the prerequisite for most 300 level classes after you transfer. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So these guys, the 5 classes that are covered in the ASNS degree at KCC are exactly the same as the classes that you would take if you started as a freshman at Manoa. So they're identical in their numbering, their content, and if you transfer with this degree, they're totally accepted as if you had taken them at Manoa. So we also have this other course, which is called Sci 295 CS. And so the Sci 295 courses, there's several different ones with different letters after them. We have one for computer science, we have one for botany and physics and chemistry and engineering. And I think that's all of them, or math also. And so these are like a independent project research-based course. So these are much more, you can tailor it basically to what you're interested in. I am very flexible about the projects, and we have just acquired 5 brand new robots, and we're going to work on those in these the Sci 295 CS classes this fall, starting this fall. So we have 3 of the little Now robots, which is the guy here on the right. They're about 2.5 feet tall, and they are completely programmable. There's lots of different types of interfaces that you can use to program them, usually in C++ or Python. You can also download, there's different types of graphics programs to simulate them and simulate your robot before you upload the program to him. And these robots are used by the RoboCup organization for playing soccer worldwide. So there is teams worldwide in RoboCup that use these teams of, I think, 3 nows, they're called nows, that to play soccer against each other completely autonomously. So we're going to explore what's possible with these starting this fall. And then we have the 2 of the Pepper robot, which is the one on the left. And that robot is taller. She, they call her she, is about 4 feet tall. And we have 2 of these. One is set up to be programmed like the nows. So we could program her to do anything and use like Python or C to program her. The second one is set up to be a less programming oriented project where it already has software installed and you can customize what it can do. So right now it can like say its name, it can tell jokes, it can take selfies, and there's lots of little modules that can be plugged into that Pepper software to have her work like a concierge or a greeter, say in the KCC cafeteria or at the student center. And so that one would be a very open to a project for someone that maybe does not have programming experience, but is interested in working with a robot or finding out how robots work and learning how to make it do things in a less of a computer programming oriented way. So if you're interested in that, you have to get permission from me to register for the class. It's CRN 31548 in the KCC catalog right now, or for registration for this semester. Next semester. And so, yeah, I strongly suggest if you're interested, please talk to me. Like I said, I'm very flexible about what we're going to do for robot projects at this point. And so that's the end of my slides that I have here. So if you want more information, please don't hesitate to email me. And you could also talk to Lisa Yarazari, who is also here in the meeting right now. She is our advisor for this discipline in the Maida Camber Center. And look at our student developed KCC STEM website. KCCSTEM.com was made originally by one of my students in the Sci 295 CS class. And so that also is a project that could be undertaken if you're not interested in robots and you want to learn about website development. We can also do some more modifications to that class too. But please look at that because it has the most up-to-date information about the degree and what's going on in the STEM program here at KCC.